What's up, everybody? Just want to make a little video. Hope everybody's doing okay during these times of quarantine, lockdown, and all that. Staying clean, safe, healthy, sane. Number one. We're having to make a lot of adjustments, and that's difficult. Puts a lot of strain on our families, whoever we're staying with, ourselves. And in some ways, gives us a chance to reflect, chill a little bit. Sending love to all the people that are working harder than ever right now. All the people that are in, the medical field and the essential industries, infrastructure, you should say, people that have to keep the areas clean, all that stuff. So sending my love out there to everybody. So today I want to do a video. I'm going to grow this plant. So it's going to be like a demo of just the experiences of me growing this, starting this plant from seed. So here's the area I'm working on. I just cleared out these two spots right here. There's 2 rows. I'm going to put them from here all the way to that fire hydrant. I don't know how well you can see it, but these 2 rows right here. And as usual, I'm growing things that are really low maintenance. Don't need too much water. That way we could minimize our resource use, all our inputs and all that. So let me put this over here. It'll be a little better. I'm out here in my PJs, just chilling, just maxing out. So what I'm gonna grow is quinoa. Right? Supposedly super easy to grow. Supposedly it has all the proteins you need from a plant source, which is interesting. I always mix up my diet anyways, but it seems like a useful thing to grow. And yeah, so I'm gonna do this row right here. And what's interesting for me is I found these seeds from the store, and these caught my eye. So these are like the regular quinoa seeds you buy. They're kind of big. And then you have these, which caught my eye. They're smaller. So what I was thinking is that these may be a cross between this other plant that I like to grow. It's called Huauzontle. It's that's like an Aztec name. I don't know what it means, but it's like a type of quelite. It's like a herb. And what's interesting to me is that it's related to quinoa, right? It's like pretty much the same plant, but bred differently. Instead of like Peru and the Andes, it's grown in Mexico. And instead of harvesting the grain, when it's done, you harvest the whole plant early, and you eat the flower buds, and it's hella good. It's like, damn, it's good. So you might be wondering, why are you trying to grow these? Like, they got smaller seeds. Well, I've actually read some articles saying that there's researchers that are trying to cross the plants so that they could extend like areas they could grow them, so you could get quinoa in areas that are hotter, like central Mexico, and just expand that the industry. So we'll see what happens. What I'm hoping will happen is that I grow these. They're a little bit smaller. That by the end I'll be able to harvest the plants as greens, as a vegetable, and as it ages I let them dry out, let them mature, and I harvest them as the grain. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, I think the worst that can happen is I just get a bunch of like smaller grains. It's not that big a deal. They're not even So what I'm gonna do is, since our soil is like really hard clay, I'm gonna work it a second time. So I already worked it before. I used not a pitchfork, a broad fork, right? It's got like 4. So they call it a fork, right? It's like tines, you call them. And it's supposed to loosen up the dirt, but it's not really doing shit because it's just going in and like creating like 4 sets of holes. And then, like, so I'm gonna go ahead with I think I'm gonna hit it with a pickaxe, and I'm doing everything as least invasive as I can. So I mean, I'm just doing this little strip right here. See that? This one I'm doing with we're gonna do fava beans. Which it's they help the soil and they look really nice. Once they start flowering, we'll bring some bees. There's not a lot of bees on this property, so I'm gonna go ahead and just work on this little spot right here, and let's try to get a good shot. There. Let's get creative here. Look at this. It's my Iochroma, it's called. Hopefully they make it. Little walkway. So I'm gonna let these sit and let the dirt settle a little bit. And I've already planted the fava beans. I tilled that row right there. This row I haven't tilled. I went primitive and used one of those sticks, broke it so they had a point, and yeah, just poked holes in the ground, planted 3 or 4 seeds every about 1.5 to 2 feet. And so this side is going to be fava beans. Really good for the soil. They look really nice. You could eat the whole plant. Leaves, flowers, beans when they're green and when they're ripe. If you're not really into that, the point is to bring more bees into the area, because I have some chili peppers there. I have some tomatoes. We're gonna plant some squash. All those need pollination. So if we could create a little barrier where there's food for the bees, they're gonna be kicking it over there too. They're gonna be seeing what's over there. So, and then yeah, these are gonna be the quinoa plants, the hybrids, I assume. We'll see. I do have the actual true Huauzontle, which I'll show you guys as well. And I've grown those out to where I've gotten seed from them. I don't think I'm going to do that just because I don't have a whole lot of seeds. I just want to do like experiment. I could buy these seeds. I could buy more of them. See how they do. See if we have a slug. This is the first time really putting, shovel to the earth on this property. So we'll get to see if there's like pests. And then the next time around, or if we get like a raised planter bed situation going for my grandparents, it's just a little easier. Then we could start a couple over there, but seeds are not easy to come by. I've had to buy some like they're kind of expensive, like $7 a bunch, compared to like $2 for broccoli, which is similar. You can't replace it, but it's similar. And I dried them out to get the seeds, to which I've planted and gotten a harvest out of. So those I don't want to just be playing with those seeds quite yet. So I'm gonna try with the quinoa first, since it's disposable in a sense. I could buy more, and see how that goes. And next year, and if it provides the greens and the seeds, then I'll just go with that. I'll just stick with that crop, But yeah, it's a goal for this little section. I have a lot more on this property I'm trying to work on. I want to create like a permaculture section. I'm trying to plant everything like ecologically, if that makes sense. So like plant stuff that likes water by water. Plant the other stuff like cactus, nopales. We'll see if we can get some date trees out here, some datiles. Plant those on the higher parts of the hill to where we can get they can stay dry. And reintroduce a lot of native plants here. There's already quite a few already, but like nettle, for example, is supposed to be really good for you. I've had people tell me, make a tea of that, drink that in the morning, gives you, you know, a lot of vitamins, minerals, all that stuff that you need. So introduce some of that back into the property. There's some that grows locally, so you know, how we do it. Get a couple cuttings, bring them back. Probably some wild roses along the edges to create like a hedge, which we'll use for tea, and erosion control, so the hill doesn't, so it can stay in place. So we try to use all the methods that we can, but this is just a place for me to be in my head, mess with the genetics of the plants within reason, and see what grows where, how we could get the most food with honestly doing the least amount of work. We're not trying to force anything out here. If it doesn't want to grow, it's not going to grow. So plant things where they're going to do the best. And yeah, other thing is, we do want, for me it's important to like be equitable with this shit, and I live in a place where it's, these eucalyptus, huh? Fuck, huh? So we want things to be equitable, and there's I'll post some organizations that are trying to get more POC farmers, you know, land access. So I'll post those, and if there's any other links you guys want to add, go ahead and add them. And also just stay inside. If you're not part of the, what's it called, essential infrastructure, stay inside. Stay the fuck at home. And yeah, even things like, it's hard. Like, there's a lot of shit that I want to do outside. Go out to eat, see friends, see people. But quarantine out here, take this as an opportunity to just work on yourself. See how you're trying to be in the world. See how you're trying to be with yourself. Like, I'm blessed to, have this property right here to work on. This one's falling over. And so, but hey, we're trying to make that shit equitable, like, more people to have access. And there's a lot of orgs I'm working with. They do that, so I'll go ahead and add them if you're in Northern California. I'm in the Central Coast. I don't know a lot of stuff here in Santa Cruz. Since I've been like working mostly in the Bay Area. But yeah, just take this as an opportunity just to sit with yourself and meditate every day. Every day I wake up thinking about my intentions for, how I'm going to show up for myself, and the energy, where I'm going to put my energy, with who am I going to put my energy with, and, and as I'm doing all this, I keep all those intentions with me. That could be your prayer, You can make it what you want to make it, but that's as I'm working this, I'm thinking about, kind of world we want. So just reminders: stay safe. Wash your hands always. Um, just shit that makes sense. Just, you know, it's common sense at this point. Stay inside, meditate. Um, as far as I know, like public parks are still open to some degree. The state parks I think are closed, but you know, so to be able to work outside is definitely a privilege. And to be outside, so you know, take advantage of it as much as you can if you live nearby some place that you could just take a walk. You know, give everybody in the house a break. You know, and yeah, just please stay safe, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll be adding more to like the permaculture stuff that I'm trying to do. Like I said, I'm trying to make this into a gathering place where you gather wild plants and stuff that like nopales, which we cultivate them. They're not native here, but we will incorporate them into the ecosystem, you know, and the flood zones, you know, planting aquatic plants, mints, shit like that. Gross. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoy your time. Please stay sane. We'll get through this. And breathe.